You talk about the importance of mentoring and that you've had mentors and that now you're in a position to be a mentor. When you think about some of the high impact entrepreneurial people that you've met or that you've worked with, what are some common characteristics or skills or behaviors as you think about that? Maybe skills and behaviors that you've tried to emulate in the past, or if you're like me, you're still trying to get better at, right, and improve on.
Yeah, what I found, some of the most successful people are always willing to listen and always willing to sit down with you and give advice and an open door policy. And frankly, some of the folks that were willing to help me out early on, you were kind of shocked that they'd take the meeting, and you were shocked that they'd give you time. And when you sit down, they're very interested in you and what you have to say. And I think that's what I've learned from some of these really successful people is that they're always learning. They always want to know what you know, and they're not telling you how the world works. They want to learn from you. And these are people that have exceeded success at anybody's wildest expectation. And so I've tried to be willing to help young people out and lend an ear to them and be willing to give advice. And every time I do that, I learn more from them than I'm sure they learn from me.
That's great. What are some of the most important business lessons that you've learned? And so I'm thinking of kind of the blocking and tackling of, whether it's about managing financials or about marketing or about people.
Yeah, probably the biggest lesson that I've learned is that, frankly, businesses, it's really easier than I thought it would be to be successful, but the hardest part is being patient and slowing yourself down sometimes and waiting on things to work out. I've really struggled with that. And, you start an idea and you give up on it, and then you move on to the next one. And then 6 months later, that initial idea starts to work. And then you're trying to juggle the new idea and the old idea. And I wish I would have been more patient and let some of these things materialize, because they inevitably do. And you got to believe in the process and believe in these concepts as you roll them out and give them time to work. And
so the old adage of twice as long and twice as much money, maybe, to get something to success.
That's exactly right. And then I would say that the single greatest challenge that we have is people, and finding high quality people that have similar values and buy into the culture and the vision of the company. I completely underestimated how hard that was. It's easy to come up with great business ideas and marketing campaigns and whatnot and neat websites, but finding good people to execute on those strategies, that continues to be the biggest challenge.
I think you've done a really good job starting to reach back into universities and identifying talent.
we have, and that was something, I got into a business that was dominated by folks in their 50s and 60s, and I got into it in my early 20s, and through the years we've found that it's easier to recruit young people and teach them the business how we want to teach them the business than go and recruit people from other firms and try to make them adapt our philosophies. So.